As a book lover and a homeschool mom, this was a tough one for me. But I just did a huge declutter of our children's books. Let's take a look at what I did. Hi everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my channel Kindling Wild. Today I am decluttering a bookshelf. When we moved, we knew that the storage situation would be different in a 1907 home, but I guess I didn't realize how different it would be. Okay, so here I am starting to go through our bookshelves. And with my helper,
1 minute. 1 minute. That's my book.
I'm gonna keep. I don't know if you've read about Dana's method of decluttering without making a mess, but I decided to make a mess this time. I cleared off a shelf for each kid to start putting their favorite books back on. The next step, of course, was to find all of their favorites. Their favorite bookshelf served really well as a container for them. So as we went through the books, this was actually really fun because I kept being like, oh, don't you like this one? And they were like, oh yeah, yay, this one. They missed this when they went through their favorites. I bet it's one of their favorites, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to at least ask them about it. Next thing I did was take away the trash and the easy stuff like Dana always tells you to. It's a really good idea to have a recycle, a garbage can, whatever you're going to donate things in, all of those items just handy because you're going to find actual garbage, I mean, whenever you go through anything in a kid's room, I'm pretty sure. Another type of declutter that I encountered was like Christmas books and Easter books that were out of place. We don't keep them on this shelf, so I was just able to put them into a pile and relocate them. Now we are getting to the nitty-gritty. These are the books that I have been keeping, maybe because I wish that my kids like these books, or because I really like them, and that's okay too. So I've had this early reader Little Bear for a long time, and none of my kids have read it. We use a different reading program, and I think that because I liked Little Bear when I was a kid, I think that they should like Little Bear, but they don't like Little Bear, and they don't watch Little Bear, and it's kind of silly for me to hold on to this early reader that no one's reading and no one's using, that I thrifted. So I'm just gonna donate that one. This was the first time when I've been decluttering books that I kind of clued in to the fact that if I'm keeping a book for sentimental reasons, maybe it needs to go in my memory bin and not kind of take up space in my kids' room on their bookshelf. The next section of books that I was identifying while I was decluttering was books that were from a previous history cycle. We use Tan's Story of Civilization, and it's a 4-year history cycle. So since we're in the medieval era right now, if I have a bunch of books left over from the ancient world and they're not ones that are my kids' favorites, we're not going to use that again for a few years. Now we have friends who are doing the ancient history cycle this year, so I can easily pass those ones on to them, and who knows, maybe I'll even be able to borrow them back next time if I remember and if I actually wanted them. The problem with having too many books for someone like me is that I might not even remember that I had it. As you can see, another reason it's important for me to keep this bookshelf fairly manageable is because it's right behind the door and it's right next to their closet as well in this room. So if the books kind of go all crazy or if anyone pulls them down on the floor, you can literally not step into the door. My 3-year-old was being super helpful this whole time and finding tons of fun books, which was nice for him because I was able to put more books into the little boy's room that they hadn't seen for a while, and he's developmentally ready for them now. You really like this book. As you can see, more history books. I also found a lot of books that we love using for science, and I was able to put some of them on my little scientist's favorite bookshelf, and then other ones I was able to just say, okay, we can pass this one on now. I have collected so many books over the years because I really love thrifting. I used to do Usborne. We also get a lot of books from Book Outlet. So some things that help me whenever we are purging books, because I identify as like a book person, is thinking about how I want my kids' bedroom to serve them, and we have a limited amount of space in their room to store books. And additionally, my kids really love to play board games. And so they need to also have space to store their board games that's up out of reach of their little brothers. And it's not inherently like, I think a lot of the time we attach some like morality to this. It's not like inherently better to have books than it is to have board games. Like there's no, I don't need to make a moral judgment about what my kids choose to keep in their room. Something else that I encountered that is kind of like a funny modern problem is that I had some books collected for them, like a bunch of Brian Jake's Redwall books, and we absolutely love listening to those on audio. My kids have had an Audible subscription for a lot of years, and we have hundreds of audiobooks. So if we prefer the audio version and we really have been holding on to the paper copy for a long time now without using it, is that really necessary? Anyway, I just thought I would mention that because, you know, as a book lover, it can be a lot to get rid of books, but I need to remind myself that my kids have so many books digitally as well on audio, and the narrations of some of those books are just so fantastic. Lately, we've been taking our Audible books and putting them on Make Your Own Yodo cards. I don't know if you know that you can do that, but you can, and it's amazing. I decided to have some grocery bags on hand for this instead of boxes because lifting boxes of books is actually really cumbersome. And the grocery bags turned out great. So next time you guys decide to declutter your children's books, you should definitely grab some of those reusable grocery bags. I feel like in 2024, everybody has too many of those right now anyway. So it's a good way to pass some of those on as well. I'm really glad that I'm doing this because I have found a few books that I want to throw into my morning basket right now. I have found some books that we've had for years and we've done over and over and we're kind of over them. And maybe we would use them again in a few years, but like, yeah, no, we've done this so many times and we really enjoyed it, but I'm just going to pass it on to friends. So some things that I want to take out and keep, like like in use because we're doing the Middle Ages right now. So yeah, I'm just glad that I'm doing this. I have 4 grocery bags full of books, and I already had 1 box downstairs. So I have 5 containers of books for my friends to go through tomorrow, and I'm gonna go put them in the vehicle right after this, so that it doesn't stress me out or I don't forget in the morning. I actually cannot believe it. It might be even 1 other bag once I go through that last pile.
Oh, how wrong I was. Okay, by the time I finished up that night, look at all of those bags. I got rid of about 200 books. It was 10 bags, and I really made a lot of space for them.
Coming here to give you guys a quick little update on how the bookshelf is. It has been a lot more manageable for them with less books on it.
I just want to encourage you, yes, even as a homeschool mom, you do not have to drown in your clutter of books. If you cannot find them, if your kids can't access them easily, if it's constantly a mess, it is okay to say, this is too many books. I can't keep all of these.